Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Zeniton, and welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. We got more cards. Spoiler season is still going on. Besides more cards, we got a new keyword today. New set is coming up. Beyond the Bandlewood will be here in a little less than 2 weeks. As I said earlier, we got a lot of cards to look at and a whole new keyword. So, without further ado, let's go look at the cards and the new keyword. Okay, then, here we go. So, let's start with the keyword. 6 cards for today. And the new keyword, impact. I'll first off say this. I want a control keyword, or at least a value-oriented keyword. But impact, very aggressive keyword. A card with impact basically says, when the impact unit strikes while attacking, it deals 1 to the enemy nexus, and this keyword can stack. Now, the wording on that last sentence is kind of weird. The keyword can stack. Most people are assuming that means you can have like impact 1, impact 2. So if you give impact to a unit that has impact, it will deal 2 when it strikes instead of deal 1. There are other people who are like, well, if you strike multiple times during combat, maybe it'll increase the impact. Maybe impact will deal more and more damage as it strikes more and more. I think it just means the first one, where if you put impact on a card that already has impact, it'll do more with the impact, is how I'm looking at impact. Again, we'll have to see until we either just get clarification from a Riot employee, Riot themselves, or we'll test it out in the game about what exactly it means by the keyword can stack. But this keyword, it's not insanely high impact. This isn't like Challenger, Lifesteal, Overwhelm. Those are like the big keywords that I think of when I think of like very big high impact keywords. Elusive, Regeneration's another one, I guess. Like those are the kind of keywords I think of that have big impact on cards and are really big value. This is more, in my opinion, something like, I'd say, fearsome, maybe? Tough? Like, fearsome and tough, like, they're nice, but they're not insanely good, like Lifesteal or Overwhelm. Like, fearsome's good in certain aggro lists, and tough's nice on certain defensive cards, but whenever I look at those cards, I'm just like, it's fine. I care more about everything else that the card does. Uh, Also, I guess like similar to a tune as well. Like you don't look at a card and be like, "Wow, this card, if it didn't have a tune, would be garbage." Even though that kind of happened now with Dancing Droplet, I guess. But yeah. So, enough talking about the keyword. Let's look at the cards now, really quick. First few cards, not going to be able to talk too much and analyze them too much because I'll be honest with you, they're kind of simple. First one, pretty much just the required 1 mana 1/1 Poro that every region seems to get. 1 mana 1/1 Poro that has a keyword. This one has impact. It is a dual region card, so that is cool. I also wonder if this is like a hint or I guess like a hint towards other Poros in the future being dual regions, or them doing what they're going to do with the Yordles now, which is maybe they'll make some Poros dual region as well. Like some of the Poros will also be dual region in Freljord as well. Perhaps. But yeah, this card, I'm not too impressed by it. The 1 mana 1/1 Poros, only one really sees any kind of play, and that is what? The Elusive Poro from PNZ. A lot of the time it just gets created by Poro Cannon, but sometimes you see some people play it as the actual 1 mana 1/1 in Poro decks, which are really just elusive decks. I know some people a long time ago, back when Lux was playable, I know some people tried Lux Braum Poros using the Demacia Poro because the 1/1 or the getting like a 1 mana 2/2, 1 mana 3/3 with tough was pretty good thanks to the Poro snacks. I'm just not too impressed by like a 1-mana 2/2, 1-mana 3/3 with impact. Sure, 1-mana 3/3 is value and all, but meh is what I have to say. And I guess if you can like stack up impact, maybe, but I'm not too impressed by this card. Now the next card though, this one I am kind of, I don't know, I'm struggling here a little bit with Stone Stackers. 2-mana 2/2. It's a Yordle. It's tough, and it has impact. I've already seen some people say the Elite, the 2-mana 2/2 with tough and Demacia, is getting power crept by this. It's like, kind of yes, but again, different regions. The Demacia card is an Elite, so it gets Elite synergy. Sure, you can also say, well, this is a Yordle, so it has Yordle synergy. We haven't really seen any kind of Yordle synergy at the moment. But still, a 2-mana 2/2 with tough is solid. I'm not excited to play a 2-mana 2/2 with tough in my deck. Yes, there's impact, but I'm looking at impact like I look at a tune where it's just like, it's nice, but it's not going to be like what is the make or break factor of me wanting to play this card in my deck. So I feel like I'll only play Stone Stackers in a deck that for some reason cares about having a lot of impact cards or cares about having a lot of Yordles, or if for some reason I want to be a mono Bandle City deck and I just can't find another 2-drop. Because again, like I said, a 2-mana 2/2 tough is fine. You can argue it's technically like a 2-mana 2/3 because of tough, which is cute. And it's a 2-drop that survives avalanches and mystic shots, which outside of 2/3s is not really a common thing in all honesty. And there aren't that many 2/3s that see play nowadays anyway. 2/3s for 2. Anyway, we're zooming through these cards, but like I said, these first few cards are not too complex. The next one, again, not that complex. Arena Kingpin, 3-mana 4/2, also a Yordle, so potential Yordle synergy maybe. Quick attack. It's also a dual region card. It's both Noxus and Bandle City. I don't know why you would play this card. I've seen some people say, like, why would I ever play this card over LeBlanc? Well, again, LeBlanc's a champion, so you might already have all the champions you need in your Noxus deck. If you're using this as a Noxus card because of its dual region ability, I don't understand why you would play this over, say, Iron Ballista. Iron Ballista, for the exact same mana cost, is a 3-mana 4/3 with Overwhelm. I mean, sure, I guess technically this thing lives in combat while the Ballista will trade, so maybe, but again, it also has 2 health, so you can dying to Blighted Ravines, Avalanches, Mystic Shots, etc., etc. Maybe, again, like with the Stone Stackers, maybe there will be some good Yordle synergy. Also, if you don't use it if you're not actually a Noxus deck, so you're a Bandle City plus something else that's not Noxus deck, it's a fine 3-drop. Like, I'm not impressed, but I'm not upset by it. It's not like it's a bad card. Like, a 3-mana 4/2 with quick attacks, fine. Like, that's it. That's all it is. It's fine for a card. Like, 3-mana 4/2s are definitely playable cards if they have some kind of good effect, and quick attack's a okay keyword. I'm not crazy about it, especially I guess if you have a way to give cards vulnerable, so that's also good too, like giving vulnerable to something and then using a quick attack to get a kill. That's kind of cute. So yeah, I'm not too impressed by this card, but there's not much to analyze here. It's just a pile of stats with quick attack and the potential Yordle synergy in the future. If there is good Yordle synergy though, or like your deck needs to hit a critical mass of Yordles, then sure, this card's fine, pretty solid. But if you're just playing as a 3-mana 4/2 in Noxus with quick attack, just either play LeBlanc or Iron Ballista, in my opinion. Now then, the next card. Now we're getting into the more complex cards. Poro Sled. 5-mana 5/5. It's obviously a Poro as well. It has impact as well. And it has a very strong line of text, in my opinion. Attack. Summon an attacking random 1-cost Poro. So, assuming no buffs at first, it's a 5-mana 5/5 that when you attack with it, it gives you a 1-cost. Like a random 1-drop. So, and it's a Poro, of course, so it's a probably going to be a 1-mana 1/1. I don't think there's a 1-cost Poro that's not a 1-mana 1/1. And it also has a keyword too, like maybe you'll get I don't know, elusive and get lucky. And then you got impact too, so it does a little extra damage. And then you take into consideration Poro synergy, basically, pretty much Poro snacks. Just one Poro snack turns it into a 6/6 that summons a 2/2 when it attacks, and then so on and so forth. Just two Poro snacks, which is not uncommon. It's a 7/7 that summons a 3/3 when it attacks. A lot of people are saying this is Quinn. This is Quinn, but good. I'm just like, I wouldn't go that far, but this is a strong card in my opinion. Like, I'm very impressed by this card. Sure, Poros are kind of a meme, but we've had a couple of times in the history of this game where Poros never really seemed to make it to top tier play, but they saw like fringe competitive playability. And I think Poro Sled is definitely a strong card. Now, the thing is, the most recent competitive Poro deck was mostly just playing elusive Poros and pumping them up with Poro snacks, and then just winning that way. So it was kind of a elusive deck, really, in disguise as a Poro deck. But we've had other Poro decks that are just like Poros with Braum, Braum Lux, etc., etc. More value-oriented Poros, in other words. And this one, if it's for more value-oriented Poros, this is pretty solid. 5-mana 5/5, in my opinion, is a solid stat line. The Moose, the 5-mana 5/5 Scouting Moose, saw a little bit of play competitively, and it kind of dropped off because for a few reasons. One, Scouts kind of just became bad, and two, people just stopped playing the Moose as like a lot of cards. They wanted to play more Bilgewater cards and less Demacia cards, and other reasons. But yeah, that was just a 5-mana 5/5 with Scout. Sure, Scout's a powerful keyword compared to Impact, but this does a lot more besides just Impact. It's got the Poro synergy, and it's got the attack ability as well, which is very powerful. So I'm a little scared of this card, because solid stat line, kind of tough to remove, especially with Poro snacks. And you're also, I mean, I guess you don't have to be Freljord because it is a dual region card, but you're probably going to be a Freljord deck, so you also got like Troll Chance, Freezes, Elixirs to keep it alive to go for a second attack. I wouldn't be surprised if someone tries to do some weird rally deck to get multiple attacks with this thing, like some weird rally impact deck. That sounds kind of scary, but maybe not. Maybe like some Scion or Gnar deck playing Poro Sled just for the value. Now then, the next card. Unironically, this next card is my favorite card in terms of playability of the cards we've seen so far. It's very bland, nothing special here. Hidden Pathways. 5-mana burst speed spell. Cost 2 less if you've created 2 cards this game. Draw 2. That's it. Nothing special. Pot of Greed allows me to draw 2 additional cards. I like it. Unlike the other cards we saw yesterday, the Yordles, which basically had a similar wording like this, that had the whole like create 2 cards line, this one doesn't need the cards to be created that round. It just needs the cards to be created during the game. So Chump Wump, Poro Cannon, Target Invokes, Ballistic Bot are all great ways to just create the cards. And then it's Deep Meditation, but always at 3 mana. And sure, you can argue, well, this doesn't get you spells, it just draws 2 cards. And sometimes you like Deep Meditation because it can draw you spells, regardless of, because you don't want to draw the card on top, you want the spell. Like currently in the meta, sometimes I'll play some Karma Ezreal, I'll use Deep Meditation to try and fish for a Hexite Crystal that I got from a Fallen Feline that's in the bottom of the deck, but Deep Meditation will bring it to the top. But again, unlike Deep Meditation, the cost doesn't go back up. It's permanently at 3 once you get it active, once you've created the 2 cards. So I'm liking this card. 3 mana draw 2. Not too flashy, but it's fine. Whispered Words. the Reputation card draw. That's 4 mana, draw 2 cards. Reputation, it costs 2 less. That card sees play even in decks that have pretty much 0 way of activating Reputation, just because 4 mana, draw 2 is a pretty decent card. Like, you'll also see some people play Salvage. I think Salvage is the Bilgewater draw, the 4 mana, draw 2, toss 2. And they don't care about the toss, they just want to draw 2 cards. So even if for some reason you fail and are unable to create 2 cards, 5 mana, draw 2 is fine. Like, I'm not excited to play it, but I'll do it. And again, like, it's mostly going to be a 3 mana, draw 2 if you're building your deck around it by playing, like I said, Ballistic Bots, Zoes, Targon cards, etc., etc. And of course, it's a Bandle City only card, so you can't do any dual region shenanigans. But because we're seeing a lot of this stuff in Bandle City, we're probably gonna have a lot of like creation cards coming up. That's just cards that create other cards coming up. We already have seen some in the form of the Yordles we saw yesterday, like what's his name? The Lecturing Yordle creates the Poison Dart. So seems fine. Seems actually like probably one of the best cards we've seen so far, in all honesty. And now the last card, from one of the best cards to honestly what is probably a meme, but I see some fun to be had at least. Treasure Trash. 10 mana slow spell. Okay, really expensive and it's slow. Let's see what it does. Fill your hand with random cards. They cost 0 and are fleeting. You can only play 3 more cards this round. First off, before I say anything else about the card, the combo of stress testing, treasure trash is pretty cute, but how viable that is, who knows? I like the card, and I think a lot of people are saying it's worse than it actually is. I don't think it's a good card. I don't think it's competitive at all, but I can see it being a fun meme that gets more wins than you would expect in the right deck. Yes, it's a 10 mana slow spell, susceptible to deny and stuff, but I think all you have to do, so to get your mana back, all you have to do is cast like 10 mana worth of cards. If you're replacing your entire, well, you're not replacing, but if you're filling your hand with random cards, there's a good chance you're going to get at least 1 to 2 good cards that in total cost more than 10 mana. Like, you get a 5-drop, you get another 5-drop or more, like it's 6 or 7 to 8-drop, etc., etc. And then you get like a mediocre spell like Guiding Touch. You've already got more mana back than you spent. And sure, if the 5-drops aren't great, like, I don't know, you got like, I mean, I was going to say Radiant Guardian, but that's a pretty good 5-drop. But I'm not too down on this. And then, of course, there's like, if you can level up Victor, you get an X. Well, no, actually, these cards are 0. Why am I talking about Victor here? Never mind. Ignore me. The way I see to play this deck, though, without trying to be too memey in terms of like trying to be competitive. And before you say, well, streamer, this card's not competitive at all. I know. Bandletree, the landmark we saw. 5 mana landmark that says at the start of the round, you get to create a follower from a new region into your hand, and then you win the game if you've summoned units from 10 regions, basically every region in the game. That is how I would see you using Treasure Trash. You play Bandletree on 5, you keep playing the game, doing whatever, summoning stuff, working towards the win con. And then on, well, I guess turn 7 with 3 spell mana, you would play Treasure Trash and maybe find a follower or 2 for some regions you're missing. That's a lot of RNG and a lot of hope, so it's not very consistent. But I can see some weird Bandletree control deck trying to form. I don't think it's going to be good or competitive at all, and I think it's going to be more in the territory of a meme deck. But it seems fun. And fun is what's most important, right? Smile. Anyway, though, That's it for all the cards that were revealed today. Also, we got the new keyword too. Seems pretty cool. It's pretty much just the Sand Soldier keyword, but it doesn't even have to, well, Sand Soldier effect, but it doesn't even have to hit the Nexus, so that's kind of annoying. And it can also stack, so really annoying. Please give me a value-oriented keyword, or a control keyword, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, some of these cards are pretty sweet. Some of them are just kind of mediocre, like the Proto Poro, but Poro Sled seems strong. Pathways is solid card draw. Treasure Trash is most likely a meme, but it seems like it's going to be a fun meme. And the other 3 cards are just balls of stats, basically, which have a keyword or 2. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe you think a card I said is mediocre is kind of good. I'd love to hear your comments down below. If you guys just enjoyed the video in general, though, I'd love it if you could leave a like or a comment down below. And if you guys want to keep up with the Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel as well. Also, if you want to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra, you can go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zeniton, where I stream there pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all again once more for watching this video, and until I see you guys in the next one, bye!